Hey everyone, welcome to NetTouch Plus. My name is Jeffrey Way, and today's video is going to be on a question that I get countless times. And it's about how when working in Sublime Text 2, I'm able to create files and directories extremely fast. Well, this isn't built into Sublime Text 2 natively. As an example, here I am within Sublime Text 2, and let's say we want to create a style.css file within a CSS folder. Well, you probably end up doing something like this. New folder, and then within new folder, you'll create a new file called style.css. And granted, that didn't take a lot of time, but when you're trying to focus as much as possible on the code, that can really slow you down when you have to manually create these directory structures. So another option you might be thinking is, well, create a new folder and then just try to do CSS and the style. That way it should create the folder and the file name. But it looks like it works. It does create the CSS directory, but it does treat the style.css as a folder as well. So that doesn't work. But that is the endpoint that we want to get to. So because that's not provided natively, we're going to rely on a plugin. Now the plugin that I use for that is called Sublime Advanced New File. And as with most of the plugins, you can install that through package control. Now, if you're not familiar with what package control is, most Sublime Text users are at this point because it's massively popular. But if not, it just gives you an easy way to install these packages. So it's created by Will Bond. You can install it. It's pretty much a copy and paste installation. All right, so once you have that set up, it's as easy as running package install, and we're going to look for that advanced new file plugin. Advanced new file, and there it is. So I'll click enter, and now that has been installed. So if you want to take a look at the documentation, you can always just browse the packages, and this will take you to where all of your plugins have been installed. And if we open up advanced new file, you can see the README, or you can take a look at it on the GitHub page. But the thing you want to know right now is super alt plus N. And for those unfamiliar, super is kind of a Linux term. If you're a Mac user, that's going to refer to command. All right, so let's close this out and try command alt N. Now you'll see at the very bottom, a dialog pops up. And now, not only can we create the file, but we can also set up a directory structure even if it does not exist. So I'll click enter and you'll see the CSS directory, but you might be thinking, well, where's that style.css file? Well, it's created the file, but you haven't saved it yet. So just at some point, probably immediately, just hit Command S or Control S, and that saves the file, and now you have your new directory structure. So now at this point, if I need to add maybe a libraries directory within CSS, Command Alt N, CSS libs normalize.css, and now that creates the directory, and we have that file. And then of course, if you want to use NetTouch Fetch, which is a plugin you can get through package control, you can bring in a file if you've set one up like that, which makes it really easy. Now, the only other thing is I don't like using all of these different command plus shift. It's easy for me to forget. So what I end up doing is I go to Sublime, Preferences, Key Bindings User, and this is where you can set up your custom key bindings. So you can see I use vintage mode, which is like Vim mode in Sublime Text, and I like to be able to do the thing where I type JJ and it takes me out of insert mode, JJ, and now I'm out. So there is the keyboard command for that. So we're going to add another one, and we'll just place it right here. And when you add yours, make sure that you do get the commas set up so that you don't break anything. So now we've set up a new keyboard binding. All I have to do is type N, and that's going to call the command advanced new file, which is activating that plugin action. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to save that, close it out, and we're going to delete this whole directory once again. And now I just type N, and that immediately brings that up. And you'll be amazed how much time that can save you. N, CSS, libs, normalize.css, save it. And we've immediately set up that directory structure, which without that plugin would have taken maybe 15 to 30 seconds. And trust me, that adds up greatly. So definitely use a plugin, bind it to a shortcut of your choosing, and have fun. If you'd like to learn more about Sublime Text 2, we have 2 articles you want to pay attention to. Sublime Text 2 Tips and Tricks, which has just lots of fun things that you'll want to check out. And then also we have an Essential Sublime Text 2 Plugins and Extensions article that lists lots of helpful packages that you will definitely want to have installed. So my name is Jeffrey Way. For more tips and tutorials, always visit NetTouch.